Hello, welcome to our next exciting editions of the Virtual Bridge Sessions. And today we're joined by Joe Wilson from City of Glasgow College, who's going to be talking about the interesting evolution of the use of VLEs in our current situations. What's happening now and what's going to happen in the future. So without further ado, over to you, Joe.
Hello, everybody. What I thought I would do really is have a natter. I'm going to chat away at you, and I'm going to really show you what City of Glasgow College has done in this as an emergency response. And I think we all have to be aware at the start of all of this. I've got people around me who are saying what we're doing is the new future, and I agree with that. What we're doing is the new future. But what we're doing just now has been an unplanned response to a crisis. And we have lots of colleagues and lots of students, and lots of our practice that we've put into place is an emergency response. It's not a planned move to blended learning, remote learning. Call it what you will. We haven't planned for this. We're just where we are, and we're all in our own ways, both as professionals and our students. We're all just coping with where we are, and I think I'll hopefully hear from you, but I think across the piece we've done quite well with coping, but coping isn't a long-term solution. So I'm going to chat about what we've done, where we are now, and what we're looking towards in August and September time. So I hope that all makes sense. I've got my chat open. So if anything doesn't make sense, I'll share everything after the session, and I'm happy to correspond with anyone, or I might not be able to engage with the chat as I speak, but I'll pick up things. If you want me to go over something, I'll have a look at the chat. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen. I haven't deliberately, and again, I think this is about working at crisis times. So I tend to do something once and then use it many times, which is actually what we all do in the classroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call up some blogs and some things that I've done and chat you through how we've moved staff along around our VLE. Now, City of Glasgow College, we use Moodle still, which has got its own challenges. It's a self-hosted Moodle, which again comes with its own challenges. Give me a tick. Give me a tick. You'll hear me stuttering about as I find my way around things. And I'll not go too quickly, but I'll just. I'm going to move things around. I'm moving my chat button around and doing things so that I can see what you're seeing as I go along. So you'll find this all on joewilsons.net. There's some hints and tips and a good map of what we did. Perhaps actually I will start with this Wakelet. On the Can you all see that? Yeah? A guide to working and teaching online? Yeah, Kenji's gets thumb up. Super. Okay. So probably like you, we knew that the college was going to close, and we were told we had 2 weeks to plan to get everybody in a position to do remote learning. Planning. And just as we started planning, on the Tuesday of the second week, we were told, well, it's not going to be Friday, it's lunchtime today, pack up and leave the building. And we want all these messages to go out. Now we've got, in the college, we have got quite good, the usual all staff email, all these kind of things, and we've also got good communication on the student side. So we were able to communicate quite quickly, send a message to all students and send a message to all staff. We're now going to start working remotely, and here are the important things that you need to know about. And what we used for that was Wakelet, really easy, very quick to build. The other thing that we did right at the start and through our Moodle, learning technology wasn't going to keep communicating with all of the staff and all of the students. We needed the curriculum staff to take on ownership so they could tell their students what was happening in their classes. And what we discovered quite quickly was the first wave of training, and we've been running webinars every day, twice a day, at 10 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we've been doing that from the moment the college went into lockdown. What we discovered initially was that lots of staff, and it's quite natural, if I had a class every Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I was delivering in a very traditional way, I may never have emailed that class group. I might never have communicated with them other than turning up, seeing them on a Tuesday, teaching them, getting their homework in, doing all these kind of things. What we discovered was that lots of staff didn't know that we had MIS and other tools that allowed you to go and look up your class and send them an email or send them a message and do it all at once. So the initial first 2 weeks of training focused very much on how do you communicate with your learners, both using these systems, but also looking at Moodle. Again, a lot of staff had just used Moodle as a place where they stuck a few PowerPoints and they let their students go and have a look. But they hadn't switched on any forums, any collaborative places. So again, as well as focusing on just here's how to email your class group, here's how to email individual students, we did a lot of sessions on here's how to use the features inside Moodle to create collaborative places where your learners can work together, can collaborate around topics, and where you can ask them questions to give them that collaborative experience that you would get in a classroom. But if they didn't know it was there in Moodle, they wouldn't have put it into Moodle. So we did a lot of training on that, and then once we had that all up and running and working, and I should say at this point, I think our engagement rates are probably similar. I've been fortunate enough to be involved with the college's digital ambition steering group, which is actually work that started last year, and isn't about responding to the current emergency crisis. It was trying to look at where colleges would be in 2030. But because that group's kept going, the insights that I've had is that our college is probably about the same as other colleges. So in terms of switching to online remote delivery, we brought around 65% of our FE learners have all engaged and come with us. So 65% of FE learners have come with us. With HE learners, so HNCs and HND learners, we've brought about 80% of them with us. So we know, even though we were quick and we've got in touch with people and we've changed how we deliver, we know that we've lost some learners. Now, whether we've lost them because they haven't got Wi-Fi, they haven't got a device, or whether people have just thought, well, stuff it, I can't cope with this, we don't entirely know. Because the ones that switch off tend not to be ones that reply and say, you know, I'm now out of here. But having brought that number of learners into this new mode of learning, the last kind of 2 weeks we've focused on assessment, and because again, bulk of your candidates will be SQA candidates, but we're waiting from guidance from the SQA, and when we finally got the guidance from the SQA, which reflects very much the guidance that schools have been given and work-based learning have been given, that what you need to do is gather as much evidence as you can and then make a decision, and that students won't need to complete their full course, they won't need to do all of their summative assessments and things. But as soon as we got that information, we've done a big focus on using Moodle for assessment purposes. So it's been Moodle, we also have Turnitin, so a lot of training. Again, it suddenly became clear a lot of staff weren't as au fait as they might have been with Moodle quizzes and these types of exercise, or even with Turnitin and about getting submissions in and marking them using the Turnitin tools and giving students feedback. So we've done a lot of that, and that is kind of where we're coming out of now. That we focused on communications in the round. First of all, just getting emails out and doing these kind of things, or telling people again. Some of you'll see some of the stuff in this weeklet. Some of the stuff has been as simple as, you know, how you log into MyCity, because we did have some staff, you know, that had quite deliberately thought, well, actually, maybe I'm at the bit of my career where I don't really need to do any of this online stuff. So they had stuck to, they had managed, even though we've got all kinds of training and things in place to stop people using paper and all kinds of restrictions on paper in the classroom. Some people were delivering quite happily without using Moodle or MyCity. So we had to show them where all the guides were. And you can see how to create a forum, how to use a forum, how to set up chat. Chat's not great in Moodle, but it's an important tool. How to access help desks. So again, we've got an IT help desk and a learning technology help desk, and I've got them staffed at all times. Floods of things, obviously, at the beginning. Actually calming down now. We're beginning to get to a new normal where we are just now, and just really interesting things. I mean, one of the things we encountered was we've got remote desktop, and when we started promoting Zoom, all of our webinars are all run through Zoom. We've got Teams. We've got Teams on the staff side, but we run things through Zoom, just as you're experiencing just now, because you can see everybody, you can get a bit more body language. It's generally a nicer tool, even as I'm sharing this screen. It's a nicer screen, it's a nicer experience. If you try and do this inside Teams, you're looking at a wee window inside another wee window. It's not quite as nice. But some of the challenges we find really were quite interesting. Because we have remote desktop, we had a large number of staff, including some senior staff, that actually thought that everything only worked if you went into remote desktop. So they would be trying to Zoom and do other things, or read the emails, or do all of these things through a remote desktop. And it doesn't really work if you do that, you know, and they didn't really understand that you could get your email just by going to the URL for the inbox, or just by going, they can use Zoom just by, so all of this has really, I think, accelerated all of our digital skills across the college. I'm going to change my screen view to give you an idea of the kind of numbers, or the kind of things that we've been doing, with staff. Just give me a second. If I can find it. Oh, you have to bear with me. I can see my Excel spreadsheet, but I can't call it up. Just give me a second. So I'll keep talking as I pull this thing up. Why is that not appearing? Give me a second. You won't be seeing this. So in terms of numbers for webinars.
I can stop sharing your browser screen just now if you want.
Yeah. Just stop sharing. I'll come back. I'll just chat to you. So what I was going to show you was an Excel spreadsheet, but it wasn't behaving itself. In terms of numbers, City and we do the staff side. So we've got about 1,400 staff. We're regularly getting about 300 staff a week engaging with the webinars, and the webinars, which I will try and call up again. The webinars, like I said, reflected in the first week all our internal systems, and then moved on to Moodle quizzes, Turnitin, how to do these things more effectively. and where we are now is we've got a whole lot more. We've got a platform called ClickView, which we use as the local store for instructional videos and things. So a lot of the things that we're beginning to do now is beginning to look forward. It's about content creation for next year. So we're starting to look at how you create short wee learning episodes, not just how you use Zoom. We use Zoom. We showed teachers how to use Zoom on the student side of things, with great success. Where we are now is beginning to look at content creation for the next session, and I suppose that's the bit where I get to this bit about where we're going. What we've done to date, I think, has been, in terms of the broad education sector and what I'm seeing, has been quite a thorough and good emergency response. And we've had good feedback from students, and we've had good feedback from staff. Again, what we can't cure are people who are digitally excluded. We just can't cure that. We haven't got the resources to cure that. But I think we've made a good response. We've kept things moving, but it is an emergency response. We're making do and mending just now. Where we're about to move, and it's the workshops that I've got ready to roll out for the kind of next month and a half, we're going to go back to look at things like, and you all should be aware of this, but if you aren't, go and have a look. Have a look at ABC Learning Design from University College London, UCL. It's not threatening, it's not technical. It starts off with a discussion with a curriculum team or a subject specialist about how they want to structure or restructure their learning, and then it talks about technical tools. Okay, and that's really important because that will bring your teaching staff with you. The next bit of this chapter, and it'll be how all of this is prefaced, and we've got a senior management meeting on Friday. At the moment, the college is very focused on getting all of the evidence in for this year's students, and for doing that, the grading process and giving results back to SQA. But we're starting now to discuss what's going to happen in August and September. So once this immediate results are out of the way, we're going to start doing ABC Learning Design. We're going to say to staff, actually, what you're planning for August and September isn't blended learning, because blended learning is prefaced on, we mainly teach face-to-face, and we've got some resources in our VLE and our Moodle that'll help you if you can't make it along to a class, or you want to do some pre-reading or even flipping the class. Do this before you come to class. We want people to think about remote learning first. We want them to think, actually, what you need to be able to do in August, September time is think remote first. So ABC Learning Design, with a view that what you're going to be doing is creating a remote learning experience where you might only be seeing your students face-to-face when they come in to do an assessment, or to work with heavy equipment, or to do the practical things that the only place you can do that is in the college. And I think institutions are beginning to accept that that's the new reality of our August, September start in Scotland. But I'm still bumping into folk who will say things like, oh, can't wait till it's all back to normal, and and of course everything will be back. And I'm thinking, well, it won't be. You know, have you not noticed? I mean, I think some of the bigger political stuff, that everybody has now been furloughed until October, sort of tells its own story. That we're going to be coming back to a different environment, but this time we can plan for that different environment. So a lot of the workshops and the things that we've been doing up to this point around Moodle, we'll keep running all of these webinars. The webinars only last an hour. But the ABC Learning Design workshops that we'll roll out to begin with will be an hour and a half. And an hour and a half, again, is quite long enough to hold people's attention, and we'll be giving them tasks to go away and do. So it's not big, long lectures and things. I'm probably just about coming to the end of all the things I want to say. I suppose some of the other learning that's come out of this has been interesting. So our nautical faculty deliver around the world, deliver globally, and they've lapped up Zoom, and immediately when we got the extended Zoom license, they were delighted. But over on their side, I question some of the practice just now. We've got staff who have got 6 classes a day, so they will do 6 one-hour Zooms a day. So the poor teaching staff are absolutely knackered. And I also question the quality of the learning experience on at the other end. You know, so while we've got access to all of these nice tools, we really have to reflect and change the pedagogy. If you were, and let's use inverted commas, say you were timetabled for a class starting in August, then what you need to plan just now, and I'm going to mention our technology because we're thinking about it. How do you recreate the getting to know everybody in your class when you're maybe not going to see them until week 3 or week 2 or week 4? So we're thinking about using things like Flipgrid, so the teacher can say, "Hi, I'm Joe, and my hobbies are," and good to meet you all. And they can then do wee short video clips doing the same, of saying, "Hi, I'm Paul, and I've got a dog called Ben, and I live in and share. And you can do all that within Flipgrid in a nice shared kind of way, and then give them some tasks to do, and then say, "I'm going to come back and I'll speak to you for an hour on, next Tuesday." It's not the we're now timetabled for this. I'm going to speak at you for an hour, and we have to be careful people don't fall into that kind of trap. In terms of the place of the VLE and all of these things, I'll describe quite quickly the situation that City of Glasgow College is in. So City of Glasgow College we've got Microsoft 365 and Teams on the staff tenancy, so on the staff side of things. So for all our processes and things, for internal meetings, we're using Teams meetings, we're sharing documents, we've got all of that on the staff side. We have a separate tenancy for students. So students have Microsoft 365 and all of the nice things that go with that, but they don't have Teams at the moment. And even if we gave them Teams, it would be a separate tenancy. So you would only be able to bring students across if you brought them on as guests and vice versa, and it would create a huge big mess. So where we are principally is we're going to keep using, at the moment, we're going to keep using Moodle. I've had various business cases and other things in, because I think a self-hosted Moodle, as some of you know, some of you have moved on to other things, comes with its own set of limitations and challenges. We've been very fortunate that our self-hosted Moodle has remained stable throughout this period. It's not been stable. I've been at City Glasgow College now for 2.5 years. When I arrived, it was very unstable. We've worked hard to stabilise it, but it doesn't quite do all the things that we need it to do. So what we've been encouraging people to do is, again, I'll use ClickView, bring materials in from ClickView, create their own short instructional videos, which they can bring into their courses, either positioned on YouTube or within ClickView, and using all the things that you'll be using too. So a lot of our workshops just now this week have been about Kahoot and tools like that, things that you can bring in to create greater interactivity around your learning materials. I'm going to go quiet of that. I want to show you more things, but what I would ask is our experience, does that reflect your experiences?
Joe, there's a couple of questions that have come in. One from Walter at the beginning. He might want to ask this himself, or just to save time.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Very quickly, Joe. It was just the numbers that you quoted there. 65% of FE students retained. It's just that when you think about the actual numbers, that's about 6,000 young people that have not come on board for your college. Is that a matter of concern for you?
Well, if you do it the other way around, it's probably not as high as that, because while the headline figure for City Glasgow College is about 30,000 FTEs, it's not. It's more like 30,000 students. It's more like 14,000 FTEs, and of that 14,000, 70% of them are HE students. So that's the okay. So what you're looking at then is, and I'm not doing my sums in my head, 30% of 14,000. And of that 30% of 14,000, we've reached 6,500. We've reached 65% of them. So it's not as high a number as that. But yes, absolutely, that's causing concern. But from the Digital Ambition Steering Group, we reflected on these figures last week, and 60% FE seems to be about the norm across the sector. So we're probably doing slightly better than other colleges. But I've not seen, again, it's that bit of, I've not seen that written down anywhere, and but it was from a conversation with college principals and things. So I think that figure will probably be quite accurate.
Okay, and John Laird had a question too.
Sure. One of the other institutions that ran a webinar in Northern Ireland were talking about only using Microsoft Teams or other VLE models so that they can track all the learning. With Zoom, you won't have the ability to track the level of engagement. Do you have any concerns about that, or do you trust the mechanisms that you've got to keep track of who's engaging and what you can do about it?
Well, I think, John, I think it's a really good question, but it's also that bit of the beginning of online learning. So at the beginning of online learning, there was a Lotus Learning Space, which I remember. And I remember the salesman coming and telling me that Lotus Learning Space from IBM was so good because it tracked every keystroke that a learner made. And I kind of went, why would I want to know every keystroke that a learner made? And IBM managed its programmers, its employees, by tracking every keystroke. So if you were an employee and you hadn't hit a key for 20 minutes, a thing flashed up on the screen saying, "Where are you? You're meant to be at work." Whereas in learning, I hope we're more relaxed. So basically, if you choose not to come to a Zoom session, you've chosen not to come to a Zoom session. But how I'll track your engagement is: have you looked at the stuff in the VLE? Have you done the exercise? Have you handed your homework in? So I'd be quite relaxed about using things and not tracking every keystroke, John. I thought you were actually going to ask the other side of things, because to begin with, when I started using Zoom, or we encouraged people to use Zoom, there was all this flag. First of all, there was the Zoom bombing panic, and then there was all the panic about Zoom not being secure and all these things. And I'll say it here, and I hope other people do hear it. A lot of this was driven by Zoom's commercial competitors who didn't want Zoom to steal the market. Zoom's a super tool. When we go back, again, this is about planning ahead. I've got a number of staff who, first of all, were like, it's only 40 minutes, we need longer. And now we have got longer on Zoom. They're saying things like, we must buy, when the crisis finishes, we must buy a commercial license for the whole college, which costs a fortune, so that we can keep delivering these really long Zoom sessions. I'm not going to do that if I can. I think 40 minutes is perfect for and again, remember with Zoom, you can do your 40 minutes, and if you need another free 40 minutes, you can re-invite people in. But I think we've all got sore enough bums from sitting for hours in all these online meetings. I think, again, that bit of planning, let's use Zoom in a tactical way. 40 minutes is fine. You can have your materials, deliver your bit, and then if you need another 40 minutes later in the day, you can do that. But don't schedule people for 2-hour Zoom classes and things.
And on that note, and just for the purposes of our recording, I'd like to just bring this session to a close. For those watching online during our YouTube recording, thanks for joining us. I hope you're able to join us for any future Virtual Bridge sessions, which run Tuesday to Friday every week. And until then, stay safe.